Okay, these are the kits that you get. This is the first kit that I did last time. Come out really, really good. Um, I got this down at the beach, but they do sell it at American Brew Masters. I liked it. It was really good. I like that it comes in little pails. The extract does. I mean, yeah, the malt extract comes in little pails instead of them bags like you see. This is the one I did now. This is the porter from American Brewmaster. They made it out to be like just like the robust porter over here. Same ingredients. They just made it on their own. A lot fresher ingredients because it was fresh out of the pails that they had there. So we'll see how this one goes. In case you wanted to know, I forgot to take a picture of it before, but this is what's in the kit. It's an American Brew Masters kit. They have the place here in Raleigh. They're really good, friendly guys. Anyway, you get some bottle caps and some sugar for bottling. I'm not going to be bottling. I'm going to be kegging. But you got some hot pellets, different kinds of hot pellets. This is the yeast over here. We're going to pitch that at the end. We're going to put that in some water so it makes it a little bit easier to pitch the yeast. But they give you a detailed instructions of what you need to do. It's really good, line by line. You read it, can't go wrong. I just thought I'd video this for my boys in case they tried to do something different. Bag in there, as you can see, just dip it down in the water. I always kind of tie mine off to the handle over here. Okay, that's it. We're going to not let that go to a boil. It'll only be 155 degrees. My malt extracts and put them in hot water in the sink and let them sit for the 25 or 30 minutes that it's doing its thing over in the pot. That way this stuff will pour out a little bit easier. If you don't do this, it's really, really thick. So that's what I'm doing there. We go over here to the fermenting pot. I've got it all, the sterilizing solution in there with my spoon, because you're going to need the spoon sterilized so that you can stir the extract into the pot. So those are two steps you can do while you're waiting. Okay, talked about sanitizing. This is Star San sanitizer. Just a tiny bit goes a long way. If you've seen on the bottom of the bucket I had a while ago, it'll make a gallon with about a quarter of this little cap right here. So it works out really, really good. You can it lasts a good long time. I put some in a spray bottle so that I can go ahead and spray down everything without having to, be too crazy with it. It goes a long way. But like that spoon. Okay, we're down to the last 3 or 4 minutes. What I like to do is sit here for a little bit and just kind of bounce the bag up and down. Make sure we're getting a good, kind of like a tea bag. Just kind of bounce it back and forth. Make sure you're getting it all out of there real good. Plus, you don't want it to be, I don't think it gets hot enough to burn that bag on the sides of the pot or on the bottom, but never know, could. Okay, we're down to the end of the process of doing the bag thing here, so we're just going to pick it up. I don't know if you can see that real good, but anyway, you're going to pick it up, let it drain out real good into the wort. Don't squeeze the bag or anything like that. You don't want to get all the good junk out of the inside of the bag. It's pretty much done deal now. You just draining it out. I got a little bowl over here so I can stick it in after it's done. It's right messy. So anyway, that's the next process. We turn the heat off. Once you turn the heat off, you're going to put your extract in next, and I'll show you that. Okay, that's what she looks like when she's done. Big old ball of nastiness. We're going to take it out of there and just stick it over here in the bowl. Just like that, and now you're done with that. You'll throw that away. It stinks, so make sure you take the trash out as soon as you do. Wife won't like it too much, or the whole house. Okay, as you can see, there's the extract going in. It's thicker than it can be. And I've had it soaking for 20 minutes in really pretty good hot water. So it comes out pretty good. But that's the process of that. Just make sure that you soak it in some good hot water. You'll never get it all out of the bag. You really want to get all the extract out of the bags. So squeeze from the bottom coming up and just make sure that paper. Okay, I got all the malt extract in there. That was a little bit of a challenge with them bags. I kind of like the buckets a lot better where you can scrape it out afterwards. But as you can see, I got my spoon in here. We stirred her up real good, made sure, it went as you go. So I put one bag in, stirred it up real good, put another bag in, stirred it up real good. And now we're going to bring this to a boil. So as we boil this thing, a couple other tasks that you can do as you go. Okay, I got the pot going to a gentle boil. You don't want it to be boiling like crazy, but if you use one of these big old pots like a turkey fryer like I use, I always put a lid on it. It's a little hard to get this thing to boil right. It says you can add some more water to it after you've done this process of putting in the extract and such, but I find it hard to get it to boil when you do that, and it's a little easier to manage with less water in it. So I just keep it as it is with the 2.5 gallons in there, and go on from there. But okay, we got her going pretty good here, as you can see, stirring it up a little good, get a good boil going. So once you get that going, you're going to make sure that you put in the bitter hops, which goes into the first half of the 60-minute boil. So I just put that in there. So got a little process to go on for that. Get her back boiling real good. I keep the lid on it. Some people say don't put the lid on it, but just boil that for 60 minutes. At the end of the 30 minutes into the boil, we're going to go ahead and put in our flavoring hops. So in the process, okay, that's we're 30 minutes into the boil. I just put in the flavoring hops here. Also, I've got my sanitizing bucket over here, which is really my fermenter bucket. So I've got the sanitizing fluid in there. I put a measuring cup in there because here pretty soon we're going to have to fill that measuring cup with some hot tap water, about 100 degrees if you can get it there out of your tap. Mine does. And I got the thermometer back in the sanitizing solution because you're going to need that to chill down the wort. Your wort is going to have to be at a certain temperature. So what I try to do is get everything sanitized up real good. So I just dropped it all in my sanitizing bucket, which is my fermenter bucket. So you're going to have to sanitize your fermenter bucket anyway. So let's kill vanilla porter. This is a vanilla bean. I've got it soaking in 2 ounces or so of high grade vodka. And it's going to make its own homemade extract. So anyway, I cut it down the center long ways and opened it up and left all the stuff inside of it for right now. But I'm going to let this soak for the whole process that the beer is in the fermentation stage, which is about 2 weeks. So this is going to sit in this for 2 weeks, and there'll be a good extract as it comes out of it. When it's done, I'm going to scrape the seeds out of the inside of the vanilla bean, as they say, and put it all into the keg when I go to kegging. So it shouldn't be right taste. I'm going to cut it up into 4 pieces and just throw the whole thing in there in the keg. Don't know if that's the right process, but everybody says that's the right process. Okay, so we got a couple more minutes left in the boil, so I have made me a ice bath to cool my wort down. So all I do is fill my sink up with nice cold water out of the tap, throw the ice in there, and then we're going to throw the pot into that. We want to get the pot down to, I think, 75 degrees before you can do a whole lot more. So anyway, along with that, there's the wort in the pot is in now the ice bath. I got it filled up right over top of the line. That's another reason why I only like to have 2.5 gallons in there. I don't add no water when I put the extract in, because that is a perfect water line inside and out for my wort. And that's how it looks on the inside. Got her rolling around. Now at this point, anything that you touch the wort with must be sanitized. So make sure that as you go in there from here on, everything has got to be in your sanitizing bucket. Okay, I put the yeast in 4 ounces of 100-degree water, and we're going to let that sit there for about 20 minutes. Here's a picture of the yeast here that they give you in the little kit. So on the back of it, it shows you how to do it and all that good stuff. But again, I sanitize my spoon. I sanitize the measuring cup. Everything that you touch from this point on should be sanitized. They tell us to put 2 gallons of water, cold water, into the fermentation bucket now, and that's what I'm going to do. So 2 gallons into this bucket plus 2.5 that's in the wort. That's 4.5 gallons, and then once you do that, you'll top it off to 5 gallons. Okay, some people would say this might not be the most sanitized place in the house, but at my house, it's one of the only places I have ceramic tile. And the wife would kill me if I spilt this stuff all over her hardwood floors in the kitchen. So I usually move this process now into the bathroom, where I have ceramic tile, and it's a little easier to clean. I've got 2.5 gallons of water in the fermentation bucket, and I'm about to dump the wort into the fermentation bucket. Splashing is okay. You just dump it in there. Everything's cool. Okay, I got the brew in the bucket. Everything's in there. I got about 4.5 gallons of water in there, it looks like. So now I'm going to pour the yeast, as it says, it's sat for 20 minutes. A little update, you don't have to wait till it gets down to 70 degrees to work in the sink. You just got to wait till it's cold to the Okay, now I'm going to put the top on this thing. I've already put the 5-gallon mark on the bucket over here. It's up to 5 gallons. Everything worked out good. This is why I have sanitizer in my spray bottle. I've cleaned this off real good with OxyClean. Rinsed it off real good. Now I'm going to go ahead and sanitize it really, really good with the sanitizing fluid that I have in my spray bottle. So there you go. That's how I do it anyway. Works out good. Okay, I got it all lid on and everything. Got my car lock on it. Car lock is filled with sanitized solution. You fill it up to the halfway mark. There we go. Shake the bucket up pretty good for 3 or 5 minutes. And then the process is done on that part of it. I went ahead and stole me some beer out of it. And going to fill my thing up here, the hygrometer or whatever you call that thing. But anyway, I'm going to see what the volume is, and then I'll do my difference and find out how much alcohol is going to be in there. We're got to go about 5.5%. Okay, after shaking it up a little bit, kind of press in the middle of it to make sure your airlock does some bubbles, which mine's doing pretty good, it looks like. Looks like I got a good seal. So that's what you want to make sure you got a good seal in it, and all that process is done. So while you're done, you want to take it and put it in a nice dark spot. I keep mine in my closet in the pantry. So hopefully I don't have no blow-offs or anything. Some people had some nightmares about that, but I haven't had that problem yet. If I do, the wife would probably kill me. But anyway. Okay, I'm getting my reading here. If you see, I kind of get this thing full of beer, spin it around so it's sitting real good. Then you check your number. And my number was 1.50, which is exactly what the paper told me to be at. So we're cool to go. All right, sounds great.